To Seoul and tried craft makgeolli for the first time in my life. It was life-changing for me.
That trip changed his palate.
인구는 약 600만 명에 불과하지만 전 세계 해상 물동량의 25%가 통과하는 싱가포르. 다민족 국가의 전 세계 인재와 자본이 모이는 곳이라 글로벌 시장의 테스트베드라고 불리기도 하죠. 이런 싱가포르에서도 한류, 특히 우리 식문화는 계속해 주목받고 있는데요. 오늘은 그중 술에 관한 흥미로운 보도가 있어 가져와 봤습니다. 또 소주 이야기냐고 물으신다면 아닙니다. 그건 이미 기본이고 그 이상의 이야기죠. 오늘 소개할 영상은 싱가포르를 기반으로 한 아시아 최대 영어 뉴스 채널인 CNA의 2026년 4월 17일 싱가포르의 한국 주류 취향이 소주를 넘어 다양해지고 있다 라는 제목의 보도입니다. 함께 보시고 관련 이야기를 나눠보죠.
Korean food has become a firm favorite here in Singapore, and its drinks are gaining ground too.
Yet when most consumers think of Korean alcohol, they still picture, I guess, the very well-known soju in a green bottle. But that image apparently starting to shift, as Gratian reports.
Not long ago, Korean alcohol in Singapore usually meant one of two things: soju, a rice-based spirit, or beer. But that picture is starting to widen. At this bar in Lifestyle Mall New Baru, Singaporean importer Dominic Tan is trying to introduce drinkers to a different side of Korean alcohol, starting with craft makgeolli, a fermented rice drink.
I think I've always been interested in makgeolli, but because all we got in Singapore was commercially made makgeolli bottles. The first time I went to Seoul and tried craft makgeolli for the first time in my life, it was life-changing for me.
That trip changed his palate. It also made him realize how limited the options were back home.
3 or 4 years ago, all we could get is makgeolli from supermarket.
Makgeolli used to be seen as a simple everyday drink, but here it's presented quite differently, more premium, more curated, and part of a wider shift showing how Korean drinks are being enjoyed here in Singapore.
For some customers, this is still a first introduction.
I was on TikTok scrolling and this came up as one of the recommended Korean places. And I Googled it and found that it was a makgeolli bar and it was quite interesting. I've never been to a makgeolli bar before, so I decided to try it.
Words fail me, but it's quite flavorful. It's quite a unique taste and it doesn't really feel like I'm drinking alcohol, so it's quite good.
That curiosity did not come out of nowhere.
Korean drama shows a lot of drinking culture, not as just a transaction, but as a social ritual. So specific brands and people drinking alongside, it gets all exposed through those dramas. And Singaporeans, Southeast Asians love watching those dramas. So it gave that legitimate access to that Korean drinking culture. So the Korean cuisine also became very popular. It's not a niche food anymore in Singapore.
Korea's liquor exports rose in 2023, and the mix is widening beyond just soju. After falling to a pandemic low of $270 million in 2020, Korea's liquor exports jumped roughly 21% in 2023. KATI says Korean alcohol exports to Singapore hit $6.1 million in 2024. It's now the 8th largest global destination for Korean spirits by value. But the category is not only expanding through imports and bottle lists, it's also being mixed behind the bar. Born and raised in South Korea and now based in Singapore, Uno Jang was awarded the Altos Bartender's Bartender Award 2025 as part of the world's 50 best bars. At his new bar in the city's central business district, he's using cocktails, pairings, and ritual to introduce a broader Korean drinking culture, one that goes beyond soju bombs.
I don't believe, just using the Korean ingredient, it become a Korean bar. The ingredient has to be very intentional.
And for him, that means bringing in not just Korean ingredients, but Korean habits, such as how drinks are paired, shared, and enjoyed.
My experience as a Korean, I grew up with drinking and eating some of the pairings. I want to express that moments as I get it, the memories to our customer.
Green bottle soju may still be the first drink many think of when they think of Korean alcohol. But from craft makoli and traditional rice wines to Korean gin, whiskey, and cocktails, those growing the category here are trying to show there's much more to discover. Grace Shin, CNA, Singapore.
싱가포르에서 언론 보도까지 나왔다. 이는 이미 세계에서 주목받기 시작했다는 뜻입니다. 관세청과 농식품수출정보에 따르면 2025년 한국산 주류 수출액은 약 3억 1214만 달러를 기록했는데요. 물론 소주가 전체 주류 수출을 견인했지만 막걸리와 전통주에 대한 관심 역시 북미와 유럽 시장을 중심으로 가파르게 상승하고 있습니다. 글로벌 막걸리 시장 규모는 2025년 약 5억 8,932만 달러로 평가되었으며 2032년까지 연평균 7.27% 성장하여 10억 달러를 넘어설 것으로 전망되죠. 한국 내 전통주 출하액 역시 2020년부터 2023년 사이 135%라는 폭발적인 성장을 기록했고 전체 출고액 약 1.4조 원 규모를 유지하고 있습니다. 사실 소주는 맛으로 먹는 것보다 한류의 인기로 인한 그 분위기를 즐기는 술로 퍼져나갔습니다. 술을 좋아하는 분 중에는 우리나라를 대표하는 술이 녹색병 소주라는 것에 아쉬움을 느끼시기도 하죠. 하지만 한류는 단순히 눈에 보이는 것, 대표하는 것만 소비되지 않습니다. 우리 문화와 관련한 깊숙한 곳까지 구석구석 살펴보고 싶게 만드는 것, 그게 문화산업이 가진 힘인 것 같네요. 여러분은 어떻게 생각하시나요? 영상을 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 구독과 좋아요는 영상을 만드는 데 큰 힘이 됩니다.